in Greenville County, opening statement started this morning in a civil case against the sheriff's office.
The 2 deputies are accused of using excessive force in an arrest from nearly 4 years ago. And this is body camera footage from one of the deputies after Stephen Hopkins was taken into custody. Now you can see Hopkins being pulled out of the squad car. There he is, drops to the ground, and that's when the deputy tries closing the door, but it hits Hopkins' head. The deputy reported Hopkins rolled and put his head in the way of the door. Now Hopkins and his attorney are disputing that claim. Attorneys for Hopkins say that he was tased, tackled, and punched in the face, all while he was handcuffed and being held down. The complaint says the sheriff's office was originally called out to a home Hopkins was at for a domestic issue in April of 2019. The deputies say Hopkins refused verbal commands and tried to run. Hopkins was later arrested and charged with resisting arrest. And public records show he pleaded guilty to that charge in October 2019 and was released with time served. Now, it's important to note here that this is not a criminal case. It's a common pleas case that has gone to trial. Attorney Bakari Sellers represents Hopkins. He told jurors in opening statements that this trial is not about his client's decision to run. Attorney Stephanie Burton spoke on behalf of the county and the sheriff's office, and she says the video evidence will show that the deputies did what they had to do to make Hopkins compliant. Deputy Austin Fowler was the first witness on the stand, and he's one of the officers named in the suit. Sellers questioned him about inconsistencies in his reports and interviews after the incident in 2019, specifically that he never mentioned that he had lost his gun in the struggle with Hopkins. He only brought it up after it was revealed during an internal investigation.
They called you dishonest. They said they believed you were being dishonest because you had not reported it, didn't they?
Just because you call somebody a liar doesn't make them a liar.
Were you disciplined in any manner?
No, ma'am.
Paid, docked?
No, ma'am.
Demoted?
No, ma'am.
Any criminal charges filed against you?
No, ma'am.
That was Burton you heard at the end there, pointing out several investigations into Fowler's actions did not result in any consequences.